I wanted to wish everyone a very happy holiday. Thanks so much for being part of the Something Scary family. Now, yes, October, but also this season and every other day of the year. Did you know that these video episodes tell just one of the fan-submitted stories that we adapt for our podcast each week? The chills and thrills continue on the Something Scary podcast. Hear more for free on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Markeia. Want to hear something scary?
Silent night, scary night. It was the first holiday without Uncle Ruben. The table where my granny, mother, and I sat for Christmas Eve dinner felt incomplete without him. My mother placed his settings and poured hot cocoa into his favorite mug. It felt like things would never be the same. He was such a big part of the family. Looking down at the cup, my eyes welled with tears. His cheerful laughter echoed in my memory, and I could remember clearly the jingling sound of his pockets. They were always filled with coins. You could hear them when he stood up from the table or wandered around the halls. Around the house, you could find little piles where he'd leave change he'd find on his walks. As my mother and I hung the stockings for the first time without Uncle Ruben, I thought about how every Christmas he'd fill them with his most prized coins. Santa left something extra, he'd say, but we knew it was him filling them while we slept on Christmas Eve. This year would likely be the last in our home. Granny and Mom weren't able to meet the mortgage payments and the bank was about to take the house. First Uncle Ruben, and now the place I'd spent my whole life in. Granny fell asleep watching A Christmas Carol before finishing her hot cocoa. As my mom got ready to leave for her night shift at the hospital, I took their mugs into the kitchen. When I went to grab the one we left out for Ruben, I was surprised to find it empty. Curious, I asked my mother if she had drank it. Guess Uncle Ruben didn't want to miss Christmas, she laughed. Under the festive lights that lined my window, snow fell quietly outside as I lay awake in my bed. It was way past my bedtime, but I found it hard to sleep. That's when I heard the jingle. It couldn't be, could it? Was I finally going to catch a glimpse of Santa? Shivering in my pajamas, I got out of bed. I felt something cold under my feet, and much to my surprise, it was a coin. The hallway was dark, but it looked like someone was walking around the house as shadows formed around the lit Christmas tree. Suddenly, there was a crash coming from the rear of the house and the sound of the back door opening. Gasping, I raced to Granny's room as she opened the door just enough to let me in. Immediately, we called the police and huddled together to wait. The jingling passed by the door again. Granny handed me a pair of slippers and opened her bedroom window. We would make a run for it. Once on the ground, we made our way around the back of the house to get to the car. Granny motioned for me to go ahead, but as I crossed the driveway, the burglar saw me. "Hey," he yelled. And that's when a man's shadow appeared, as if from nowhere.
"Get out!"
he boomed at the intruder. The voice shook the house and the burglar jumped as if he'd seen a ghost. He broke into a run toward Granny and me. With a snap, I pulled the hanging Christmas lights down from the doorway. The burglar tripped over the string of lights. With a thud, he landed in the snow, covered in twinkling lights, as a police car approached. When they took him in, he was raving about being paid to scare us out of the house. After my mom got home and gave her statement to the cops, we went back inside. That's when I noticed a big pile of very shiny gold coins sitting on Uncle Ruben's place at the table. A shadow moved toward the living room away from it, with the familiar sound of change following it. "Merry Christmas," I called out as that jingle faded away. In the end, we didn't lose the house thanks to Uncle Ruben's Christmas surprise. To this day, I still find gleaming coins around the house whenever we miss him most. It's his way of letting us know he's still looking after us. Thank you to all of our patrons. If you'd like to join our VIP program, visit patreon.com/snarled. Want more Something Scary? You can hear more stories over on the Something Scary podcast, available for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. The links are in the description below. If you'd like to submit a story, send me an email at somethingscary@snarled.com. Like and share this video if it gave you the chills. And don't forget to subscribe to Snarled and turn on the bell for notifications. And if you dare, follow me on social media. Until next time, my dark darlings, sweet dreams.